Hi, I'm Danny Poulos from the elite lending team at Fenby Mortgage, and thanks for joining us today on Real Estate Insiders. We've got two exciting guests. First, Toby Hebert from Veranda Properties. She's a property management specialist, and she's going to show how she can help realtors grow their business, and you're going to hear some really interesting stuff from her. Then we're going to be joined by Dennis Gianetti. He's a life coach and business strategist, and he really specializes in the real estate business. So stick with us a minute, and we'll see you soon. Hi, thanks for coming back to Real Estate Insiders. We're here with Tony Hebert of Veranda Properties, and we're going to talk about some things that have to do with property management that you probably haven't thought of, even if you're in the real estate business. So thanks for coming in today, Toby, and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Toby, and I'm with a new company here in South Florida called Veranda Properties. I've been in real estate for 15 years and really been focusing mainly on property management and rentals and dealing with homeowners that maybe not live here, right, or have investment properties that can't sell or want to rent, so I rent them for them.
Well, yeah, we were talking about that. People still believe that real estate is a great investment, and I think that's easy to say. And people may be invested in stocks and other things, and they always have a company that manages that stuff for them. But with real estate, there's a lot more involved when you own a piece of property. So you were explaining how you're really the manager of their real estate portfolio.
Right. We manage their real estate portfolio. We collect the clients, the tenants' rent and maintenance issues. We do everything from screening them, background checking them, collecting their rent. Any maintenance issues come through us 24/7.
All the stuff that's just brain damage for a landlord.
Right, for a landlord or the realtor that may have the listing. So we take care of all of that for the realtor or the homeowner.
Okay, so let's get right to that part about realtors, because that's really one of your main clients is actually people in the real estate business. So we were saying that people who have houses that are for sale, those agents may actually be clients of yours. How is that the case?
Right. If an agent has a client that has a home for sale, maybe that house has been sitting on the market for some time and can't sell. So I would come in and I would ask that realtor to let me take over that house and put a tenant in and start managing that house. And if they ever want to take that client back, it's their client forever. We don't sell and we don't buy. So that client will always be that client of that realtor. We eliminate that realtor having to do all the extra work of making.
All right, so I'm a realtor. I've got a house that's been sitting on the market. My seller is in no rush. So maybe it's priced a little high. Maybe they're waiting for the market to come up to what they would like to get for their house.
So in the meantime, why don't we generate a little income for that homeowner so it's not just sitting vacant with making no money. And that's something that I can do for you because I have qualified tenants right now. We can start generating some money and some cash flow every month, and then maybe we can try selling it later, and we'll give the client or the tenant a 60-day notice to vacate when you do want to put it back on the market.
So from the selling agent's point of view, it's not like you're going to have to bring a tenant in for a long-term contract, but if you're looking
maybe to generate a little cash flow, maybe for 8 months or 9 months, or
as long as you have 60-day notice,
right,
if it
to
comes
let
under
the
contract.
tenant know that they have to vacate at that time.
Now, I know agents that specialize in selling, and in most cases, the last thing they want to do is try to rent a piece of property. They don't want to deal with all the stuff that you're doing. They don't want to deal with all the
issues and the maintenance issues and the phone calls at 5 o'clock in the morning that their dishwasher is broken. So we handle everything 24/7.
So. All right, so that's one person, house for sale, it's vacant. We were also talking about people that have vacation homes in Florida. I mean, that's a big part of our market, right?
Right, and maybe they're not coming here for this year and they don't want their home sitting there vacant. So we would go in, take care of their home for them. Basically, we're the babysitters for their home while they're away for the year or 6 months or however long they're gone. So we take over their property, collect rent, find the tenant, secure the tenant for them. And
well, all the things that you can imagine, if they decided to go to Europe this year, it would be next to impossible for them to do what you're going to do
Right.
on their house when it's vacant.
And we have a website where they can go on and check every transaction, every conversation, everything that has happened with their property.
Wow.
So they're always in tune with what's going on with their property.
Excellent. Now, I would think, you made a very important point, that you don't rent, you don't sell, and you don't buy properties. Because I would think, if I'm an agent, but one thing I might be reluctant about would be turning over my client to a property management company, because most property management companies also have divisions that list properties, buy properties, sell properties, do all that. I think I heard you correctly. You don't do anything except manage
Veranda Properties is a full-service property management company. We do have a broker's license where that's where we're allowed to rent to these tenants. However, we do not sell or buy real estate. So the realtor that brings us a client that we manage will never lose that client. It will always be their client.
Well, how about, I would also expect that you get a lot of calls, being a big property management company,
we do.
From people that are saying, do you have any properties available for sale that are rentable? Or do you have tenants for the properties that people already own?
Right, we get all kinds of phone calls because we are on the internet. We have an amazing website where you can look at properties, you can review properties all over from Orlando to South Florida, and we get a lot of phone calls from investors maybe possibly interested in buying. However, we don't sell, so I'm always looking for realtors that I can refer business to.
All right, so
and work closely with.
And there's a lot of reasons why realtors would want to have a connection with you, not only for renting their vacant properties out, their second homes for their clients out. Anyone that's looking for management where they don't want to deal with it themselves, obviously, and really at the end of the day, you're also a great source of leads for agents.
Yes, I can send them lots of business. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's what they all want to hear. Everything else you said up to that point was me.
Yeah, they didn't care about that.
They just like to hear that you could send them business.
I can send them business and referrals, absolutely, and we can work very closely together and manage their homes and get them business and
All right, well, that was all about the agents. Now let's take the agents out of the picture and talk about people who just want to start investing again in real estate. And I think we saw that all start up again last year, where people were buying properties as investment again because they think that there's an upside where, we both know for the 5 years prior, 6 years prior, people thought it was going no place but down. So now that we're on the upswing, let's say I'm a buyer and I want to take some of my asset portfolio and turn it into real estate. So using your whole program here, I would first reach a realtor to help me find a property that's going to get me the return I want, right?
Right, or I can refer you to someone.
So do you get calls directly from clients like myself?
Right, exactly. So, yes, I would refer you to a realtor that I work closely with. We'd get you into the best investment properties out there. And that's where I play a part, is because I already have qualified tenants that will pay the top dollar for rent and get you the maximum rental income for your properties.
All right, so something I'm not going to have to worry about, which is always a big concern, is I bought the property, I put my down payment,
and now
I put my closing costs.
Sell it. So no, that's where I come into play. I already have qualified tenants that are willing to pay the top dollar for.
And I don't want to be making my mortgage payments while the thing sits vacant. I try to figure out how to use Craigslist.
Right, and we don't need to worry about Craigslist. We have 100 different websites that we would put your properties on. So
you're actually generating. The one side is getting properties rented, but the other side is you're actually generating tenants.
Generating income for you immediately, so your property is not sitting vacant.
Now, you had mentioned you're going to be in charge. What's your territory going to be? Because I know the company said is in Tampa.
The company is originally based in Orlando. However, it's been there for 10 years. We're coming to South Florida. We're going to be covering Hope Sound to Fort Lauderdale.
So you'll then, any agent that's working in that market from Hope Sound down to Fort Lauderdale, you would have tenants also that are calling in for those same areas. Right. We will be covering that whole entire stretch from Hope Sound to Fort Lauderdale. We will have a property manager managing 100 homes from Hope Sound to Fort Lauderdale. So we're going to be working with a lot of property managers, and I'll be overseeing all of them. So no one worries about getting that call that my toilet is overflowing
Right,
or
because
my
there'll
power.
be someone designated to that specific area.
Do you have a lot of people that do have a lot of properties with you? Here's the reason I'm asking. I think that once somebody gets started, they buy their first investment home, they find you to manage it, and they say, man, this is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Because all they're doing is worrying about their cap rate, what's their mortgage payment, how much money they have coming in, and you're taking care of the rest.
We take care of everything.
So do you find a big repeat business where you're managing a lot of properties for single people or single companies?
Absolutely, yes.
So,
we have, yeah.
So
Yeah.
the answer to that is yes.
Yes.
So I mean, and the other reason I'm thinking of it is then you've got a source of leads, or these people that are going from one property, then starting the next to the next. In each case, you're keeping them with their agent that they're happy with. So it sort of becomes a team.
Right, we all become a team, the homeowner, the agent, and myself. We work very closely together. If the tenant doesn't want to renew, we'll put them somewhere else, but we'll have it filled immediately before it's up.
I really think that we've covered a lot of things that I wouldn't have thought of as an agent. I know for a fact, a lot of agents, when someone comes in and says, find me a rental, or I want to find investment property and get me a tenant, they get the chills because they don't want to deal with all that. All they can think of is, well, first I have to find a house, then I've got the brain damage from tenants. So for you to be able to take that all out of the equation,
yes.
I think that's important for agents to know that that's even available to them.
Yes, and at the same time, the agent's going to be making a referral fee for sending the client to us that we manage. 25% of the first month.
Oh, so everyone's ears just went up again. So by referring clients to you to manage a property, they're also earning money that way.
They're also making money and keeping their clients.
All right, so most important thing, because people are going to want to get involved with that, tell everybody the best way to reach you.
The best way to reach me is my cell phone number is 561-506-3690, or you can always check us out on the web, which is verandaproperties.com. That's VERANDAH properties.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.
That's really exciting. It's nice to have a new company in town, and I'm sure you'll hear from a lot of agents that are watching the show today. Thanks again, Toby, for coming out.
Thanks.